Do nice guys finish last? I don't know. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. I'm listening to this song. Nice guys finish last. Alexa, who sings this?
This is Andy Grammer.
Andy Grammer. I feel like change. There's some sort of like needing to embrace change. 10, 20. Okay, so it's like change is needed times 10. All right, there could be awakening here. There could be like some sort of needing to forgive, right? There's like forgiveness either needed here or something to that effect. All right. Huge, like someone's being called to transform, or this is something that is transformational. So I'm getting like, this is a chapter that's coming to an end, and it's coming to an end so that transformation can happen. I'm getting like 4 of Cups. So I feel like this is, it's almost like, you know, not really seeing what potentially could be right in front of you even. It's like this energy of like, why bother? Or like nothing else has worked out, you know, for me. So let's see what this is. Okay, we're gonna do one more. King of Cups energy. All right, so this could be like, you know, going through some sort of like process, right? And learning things to master your emotions. And, you know, this might be lessons playing out here. Okay. Someone having to make like major life changes here as well. Okay. All right, Spirit, you ready? What's happening here? Justice is playing out. All right. So if nice guys finish last, save a spot in the back for me. Okay? Interesting. Okay. Death card. Yeah. All right. So there's something that's like coming to like a screeching halt. I'm getting. I feel like there's a transition here, an ending, almost having to accept the inevitable. Yes. Okay. Yeah, 9 of Cups after that. And then 5 of Cups. So this could be like having like, I've got everything I've ever needed or need. I feel like that's this energy. And then I feel like nice guys finish last. That's like the theme, it feels like. I'm listening to a song over here, and it's by Andy Grammer. Nice guys finish last. All right, so with this 9 of Cups, I'm getting like there's this overindulgence of things to the point of like imbalance here. So there could be some sort of like ramifications or some sort of like balance being restored here. All right. This could be like someone needing help, needing to get some support. All right. Maybe for something that, you know, has really maybe set them like off pace, or, you know, really has affected like their relationships with people around them. I'm getting like, maybe it's like going from the party life to like, you know, not being around that anymore. So maybe there's an adjustment needed here. Maybe it's court ordered, or there's something that's happened as a result of like, you know, kind of like an overabundance of something. It could be substances, but I keep burping. 8 of Wands. So I feel like it could be, this could be a lot of like energy exchanges with people. So I'm getting like this also could be like someone like, you know, giving their cup to many. I'm also getting 9 of Cups, like spreading themselves openly, like having, like, looks like there's a lot of people here having a lot of different drinks. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of energy. And then, you know, to nothing. It's like going from, it's like night and day here. That's what I'm getting, night and day. This could be a bit of like depression. This could be like a Jekyll and Hyde energy here. Okay, so I'm also getting like 8 of Wands. What do you want to say about this? I feel like there was like some sort of coordinated effort here that has come to some sort of like halt. Okay. Wow, the 10 of Swords. What is this? 10 of Wands, bottom of the deck. Okay, I feel like whatever this is, I feel like everything's coming to, you know, an end. Something may be unseen. Maybe they didn't see this coming. So there could be surprised by this. Or maybe like everybody's talking about this ending here, whatever this might be. The 10 of Swords. I feel like this is like as a result of things accumulating, right? Like there's continuous conflicts, okay? So I feel like, you know, there's been a lot of battling going on, whether it was seen or unseen. But I feel like by battling, they ended up hurting themselves in the long run. And sometimes, like, battles like this aren't worth fighting. And so some of these battles are best just walking away from. And some people need to kind of, like, take it to the next level. I'm getting, like, you know, this is a bit of, like, over the top here, right? Like someone's being made an example of, all right? Or there's something major being learned here. Something that has been repeated over and over and over again and still not learned the lesson. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, well, you know, how many times do we need to, you know, do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? Like, it's kind of like that. So this is like some sort of like... like, no more. Like, no more is this happening. Whatever's been going on. I feel like whatever's been going on in, like, Playland, I feel like that's done. Right here, 10 of Swords. I feel like, you know, with this 8 of Wands here, I feel like this is some, like, dark stuff, okay? Alright? I feel like there was a lot done that was, like, you know, from the shadows, okay? From the unseen, right? Like almost like unseen, unknown, hidden, secretive, right? Like, yeah. Okay. I'm also getting like maybe there was somebody who was used for something, right? Almost like, and then like used and then like depleted. So someone could be getting caught up for, you know, using like dark arts to potentially try to deplete or affect someone's like own emotional stability and regulation. There's something about like someone's own ability to kind of like be unmessed with, okay? I feel like with this 8 of Wands, I'm getting like, and it's towards someone's demise. Okay, with the 10 of Swords. So I feel like there's something that was done towards someone's demise. All right, and it was almost like to prevent a new beginning for somebody. They wanted to keep them from anything. I feel like maybe there's justice here playing out. There's balance being restored here. There's some sort of choice somebody made to do this. And as a result, are being held accountable. There's that. So like justice, you know, Lady Justice is fair and unbiased. So there must be a lot of evidence here. Okay, there must be proof of this. No shit, all right? I feel like someone is very burdened, okay? So also wanting to burden, like I feel like this could be a return. Like someone wanted someone else to be burdened to the point where they wouldn't be able to carry on. I feel like, and then they watch to see if it worked with the Page of Wands. Like, oh, you know, did what we sent to them, did that work on them? Like, that's some bullshit right there. All right. So if you feel like that kind of energy is going on around you, this would confirm it for you, but I shouldn't be telling you this for the first time. Okay? 3 of Swords. All right? And then the Strength card in reverse, mind you. All right? So this is kind of like confirming this last spot here after the Fool, right? I feel like this is like a rejection wound. This is like a narcissistic type wound, like almost like someone doesn't have the courage or strength to maybe be accountable for what transpired here. So instead of doing that, they thought it would be a bright idea to like attack you and come after you and get people to kind of like bully you. I feel like that's also what's being found out at this time that is playing out. I feel like it also could be like a triangulation with someone who's not empowered, someone who's jealous, someone who's envious, someone who's like someone who, you know, steals people's, you know, partners for their own like gratification. Like they get off on that. It's like a power trip to them. So I feel like there's a bit of that. Fire sign energy. I feel like it was all against what somebody was working hard to create. So something you do, or it has something that like, you know, just you doing and being you. I feel like this was, you know, you were minding your own business and you were focused on what you're being called to focus on while all this is going on. Okay. So I feel like you were guided and supported. You had resources needed to create what you are being called to create, and you kept it moving, okay? This is you mastering something. This is you mastering yourself, your life, your self-love, like all of those things. And I feel like you channeled it into something beautiful. So whatever you're doing that you are creating, even from a place of pain, it's like taking your pain and creating something beautiful with it. And that is what alchemy is. I feel like, you know, not spilling all these cups. Like some of these cups are still worth, you know, maybe using it towards something else, right? Like learning from the experience, right? Taking something that might be cold and adding something hot and making it warm. Same kind of thing, okay? All right, let's see what else. I've got a lump in my throat and I cannot say the words. I cannot say the words, and I feel like I'll say all the wrong words. 6 of Swords. There's this like moving on towards like a new direction, towards peace. I feel like you have all the truth you need, right? 10 of Cups. I realize that I'm missing a card over here. Oh yeah, it's right here. Like, wait a minute. What do we get here? Not a single thing I'd change about you. You're picture perfect just the way you are. Wow, that's cool. All right, so 6 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there's a whole lot of clarity going on about everything. All right, this 10 of Cups and Ace of Swords and Queen of Pentacles, like, remember, I'm in love with all your flaws. I feel like that's who you're attracting into your reality, okay? So that's beautiful for you. I feel like that's this. That's you prioritizing this. This is you standing up for what you want in your life and not accepting less. This is like you knowing this, okay, and grounding it here, creating it here, helping to foster this. This is like helping humanity, right? This is like you doing what you can, right, on Earth, Mother Earth energy, and this harmony and balance and emotional and it looks like stability, security. I feel like this is the honest truth is what this is. The honest truth is that, like, you're the deal. You're the real deal. Okay? Here's the thing. You don't even need to prove it. Okay? I feel like you just existing has proven who you truly are. Like, you don't really need to go out there and, like, defend yourself in the way that, like, they may have expected. I think maybe they expected for you to fight back in the way that they like to fight. And I'm getting like, you didn't fight for this. I feel like you left this. You had the clarity, you had the knowing, you had the understanding that this was not for you. And you didn't need to go through it again and again and again. I feel like you learned the lesson. And so you picked yourself up and you moved it. You moved it in the direction that you were told to go in. Okay? I feel like you were enlightened. Okay? And I feel like whatever enlightenment you gained from this experience with these individuals will forever be something you share, will ever be something part of your story, your narrative. Like, this is you writing your own narrative, right? This is you controlling the narrative, but not caring what anyone else's narrative is. This is just like you living by your own truth, okay? See, you hear that? Yeah, all right, Queen of Pentacles. This is you being stable, secure, grounded, all right? Having something of your own that you built on your own. This is something that, you're solid as a rock, I'm getting. Solid as a rock. I feel like you built this from the ground up, all right? Off of your own pain and suffering at the hands of those that were close to you, that were meant to support you and love you in this life. So, let's see, what else? I feel like this chapter is closed. Wheel of Fortune. It's like fate and destiny is playing out here, right? It's like Judgment Day. Okay, it's like Judgment Day, literally. All right, and I feel like somebody is taking account to, hey, what exactly did I invest myself into while, this, that, and the other? Well, I feel like you reap what you sow here, okay? You reap what you sow. I feel like there's a need to kind of like, someone's mastered something, and I feel like somebody's got stuff all over the place. So I'm not sure if there's like a lack of direction or overdoing something. Maybe there's a bit of like almost what is it? Don't count your eggs before they hatch or something. Is that a thing? I don't know. You guys know I'm with the sayings. Page of Swords. I feel like all they can do is watch you from afar. There's Page of Swords energy. So who's this? Page of Cups. Somebody might want to tell you something about this relationship. Okay, and what they may have themselves gone through. I feel like they want to share their perspective of things. Okay. Or this could be somebody that they know that wants to tell the truth. Okay. And then I see the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm wondering, I feel like somebody sees that you're doing better off than how they left you. And certainly better off than where they went. And so maybe there's energy here that might want to benefit somehow, because clearly, I feel like you've made good choices for yourself, and what you've invested in was wise. And I feel like you have wise counsel too, with all of this access to generational wisdom and knowledge. And I feel like whatever you're here to do, like, you're focused and devoted, and you don't really need anyone to get you to where you want to go or where you're at. So I'm getting that, like, although you can understand and appreciate like what people are going through and what they're learning in life, I feel like you're focused on different things than them, and it's just not compatible. So even if it's just like, hey, you know, can we be friends? I don't know that that's even really a thing. Okay. I feel like you keep your circle close. Okay. And I feel like there's a lot of chaos and drama here that doesn't belong to you. And so I feel like, you know, instead of like bringing something that like is really thoughtful and kind, like they bring their stinky fish with them. So I feel like this person just kind of, or this energy just doesn't really have, I don't know. I feel like this Five of Wands is just somebody who wants to like stir the pot. Okay, stir the pot with the big ass goldfish in it. Yeah, I feel like someone is just, they're in there like, they could be suspended, they could be going and having to take like a timeout, or what's this, Hangman? Someone's having to make a decision. Maybe they've seen something that they didn't understand or know before. They may have information to share. They may know what people did to create some sort of like difficulty for you. Maybe they observed this in some way. Okay. Seven of the Chariot. The Chariot and the Moon. I'm getting like they it's almost like maybe they consciously knew that it's almost like they're like, how did you overcome what they set out for you? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. All right. Because what I'm getting with the Moon is that like this is not like a typical path, right? This is a path of like the shadows, right? Like you have to walk through the shadows of darkness, right? And allow the light to guide you, right? That's what this is all about, like integration of the subconscious and conscious mind. And, you know, it takes a lot of skill. The Chariot is about someone who has a lot of skills, right? They've had a lot of battles too. They're victorious. They're usually the champions that are on demonstration, right? For an empire, saying like, you know, here's one of my best warriors, right? So this was like, interesting. I feel like you have the support that you need, like, and I feel like you're flanked, right? You're very like, you know, you do have loyalty around you. It just may be spiritual. I feel like they don't know who supports you and who protects you. Like they don't know who your big dogs are. They don't know who your big dogs are. Right? Interesting. Right? I feel like, all right. What do we have? We have the Temperance Angel and Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there was this energy being sent to create some sort of like mental anguish, okay? Some sort of like inability to get past you know, the trauma, the afflictions, the judgment, what people are saying and thinking, like they tried to afflict this, or someone is afflicted with this now. Okay. I feel like there's also this like not there's this like the chariot is like like someone's activated, like they're in their purpose, they're ignited, they've had victory, they're celebrating success too. So, you know, there's been a lot of perseverance here. Okay. And I feel like there's this like overcoming of fear, right? Specifically if it's like casted or projected, right? I feel like there was this ability to, you know, take from one and mix with the other, and to harmonize or just kind of blend, so that it's like taking energy from one place and moving it to the other for a different purpose and reason. And then there's also the resonance of it. So I feel like there's whatever was sent this way or that way, or however you want to call it, I feel like it was tempered. It was used for something, you know, like something new that hasn't been created yet. Okay. Like an idea, like this is like, hey, I have an idea. What do you think about this? I feel like this emperor here. Okay. I feel like green, they have an idea. I feel like they have an idea. All right. You could be exploring some new directions, right? It may require you to pivot. Okay. So what else? What else do you want to tell them about this? You could be the emperor. You could be the one making this decision. Or there could be those that have, like, you know, had to see something from a broader perspective and, you know, are making plans, right? There's some sort of like getting things in motion, getting clarity on things. Interesting. 3 of Cups and the Sun. Okay, I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some clarity about maybe, you know, who is around the circle, who's like the community here, right? And having clarity about the community, and maybe the community having clarity about you and your strengths here. I feel like you're shining bright. There's strengths here. This is like, yes, you're being seen and recognized for what you've overcome, and that you have like really changed, and you're going in a new direction in life, a more positive direction in life. And I feel like people fear you leaving them behind. And so it's almost like they can't tell you to your face, so they do it behind your back. This is like kind of like behind the back energy. I feel like they're watching, they're studying, they're taking notice. Okay, I feel like you could have some insights that you share, or you're very like a deep thinker, deep in thought. I believe in my ability to change the world with the work that I do, kind of energy. I love that affirmation. So use it if you feel called. I mean, the 7 of Swords is that, you know, again, like people, you know, have their own agendas when it comes to things. And I feel like, you know, there was a lot of like someone running with an agenda and whatever that included. And it was against you from creating and having a passionate new beginning and doing better than anybody else. I feel like there's this like sabotage. Okay. There's this envy, this jealousy and sabotage. I feel like they sabotage themselves. I feel like whatever this energy was that was sent your way or was said or done, doesn't even matter. Like these could just be like conflicts you've had with people, and that you've left. You're no longer in their energy anymore. I feel like they came after you because they wanted to retaliate, because the last thing they want is for you to do better than them. And I feel like that's a realization. Like, how far would you go to try to hold someone else back from growing and prospering? Like what steps would you take? What malicious acts would you do to try to prevent someone else from being happy? Right? And then with that, check yourself. Because I think, You know, that's how you call this into your reality, by wanting that for somebody else and taking action and speaking on it and speaking on it and taking action and having emotions about it, actually creating that that envy and jealousy and ill will actually calls it directly to you, because guess what? That matches your energy, right? Look at that shadow energy compared to this. One of these kids is not like the other, right? So do you understand, like, there's a need to know, like, yeah, Queen of Cups energy. Yeah, I feel like there's a need to know that, like, you are responsible for what you create here, okay? Ace of Wands is that creator, right? I feel like there's someone going through a dark night of the soul, okay? They may need to go seek outside resources here. There are many resources available for many different things, all right? But I'm getting like someone's plans backfired here, right? And it wasn't like nice, positive plans for somebody. It was like someone's demise, possibly your demise, collective, which is really, really messed up. Really messed up. And I think, you know, it stops with you. It stops with you. No more. All done. Justice will be served. I feel like this is you enjoying your life again after having to make so many sacrifices, okay? Ones that you didn't even know you needed to make, but were guided to make, because these dynamics here, these relationships that you used to know, that you used to really pour yourself out for and maybe never received in return, you know, it allows for new people. It allows for new experiences. It allows for there to be new space. You're creating space to hold for things that you do want to have in your life. People who do want to show up for you. So I feel like let those people in the past, right, experience what they wished for you. I feel like they have their own things to learn and you have yours. And you can't control what other people do. All you can do is control how you respond, okay? It's either responding, not responding, or reacting. So choose your battles wisely. All right, I'll see you guys soon. 3 through 3 on the timer. Bye-bye.